What's up, people? We're back here for another top 10 songs of the 90s video, specifically the top 10 songs of 1993. There might be a couple of these that you've forgotten, and there are definitely a few that you couldn't help but remember. This top 10 includes a couple of white artists that endeared themselves to an unlikely audience, a couple of songs about what the booty do, and one of the biggest songs in the history of music that I'm sure you could sing in your sleep. So let's get to the top 10 songs of 1993. First up at number 10 is one of 5 top 40 hits for this rapper slash reggae singer. This is the only song of his that I've ever heard, and I remember Jim Carrey doing a parody of it on the show In Living Color. No, it's not Vanilla Ice, and yes, the picture quality is horrible because it was, after all, the early 90s. This song blew up on the charts while this artist was in prison on assault charges. I guess that's the good news because it was originally an attempted murder charge that got reduced. Not good news for the guy that almost got killed, but good news for this guy. Did I mention that this song is based off of separate attempted murder charges, as in 2, that this artist had in 1989 from being in a knife fight? No? Well, it is. That charge was reduced to an aggravated assault. The number 10 song in 1993 is Informer, a licky boom boom damn, by Darren Kenneth O'Brien, aka Snow. I think I got those lyrics right. The music video to the song at number 9 made me feel a certain way as a young 14-year-old lad, and it's not because I love the saxophone. It's not one of the most risque music videos ever, but at the time it was enough to get me going as a teen. This was the first hit song that Pharrell Williams worked on, but I'm not so sure the royalties amounted to much because there are 10 credited writers on it, including 7 for the original parts and 3 for a sample of the Barges song from 1983 called I Like It. The sax riff is also sampled from a song called Darkest Light by Lafayette Afro Rock Band. The song was very successful in spawning an adult movie of the same name and 4 sequels that I definitely did not check out. The number 9 song of 1993 is Rump Shaker by wreckx-n-effect.
It's cool, the rump shaker. The beach is like sweeter than candy. I'm feeling manly and your shaker's coming in handy. Sliding my claws from New York down by your Virginia. Tickling you around Delaware before I enter. Toe to seduction from face hips to feet. A wiggle and a tickle can make the night complete. Now since you got the body of the year, come and get the award. Here's a hint, it's like a long sharp sword. Flip tails and let me see you shake it up like dice. The way you shake it up is turning mighty men to mice. But A plus got a surprise, that's a backbreaker. Now let me see you shake it up like a rump shaker. All I wanna do is zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Just shake your feet. All I wanna do is zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Just shake your feet.
Up next is one of the greatest singers of all time on almost everyone's list, and so is the singer at number 1, but we'll get to her later. Right now it's about this diva of music, and yes, she's accomplished much more than just having one of the best-selling Christmas songs of all time. She sold over 220 million records worldwide and has 36 top 40 hits, including 19 number 1 hits. That's just insane. If I remember correctly, she's only behind the Beatles with 20 number 1 hits. The vocal performance in this song was inspired by this artist's biggest influence in Minnie Riperton, who had an excellent 5-octave vocal range just like this singer. The number 8 song of 1993 is Dream Lover by Mariah Carey. Next up is a song from an R&B group that was really popular for a short time in the early 90s. I've mentioned this group before, but I forget which video I mentioned them in, so just watch all of them. This was their most popular song, coming in at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, with other songs Comforter and Baby I'm Yours coming in at number 10 on their album of the same name as this song. They formed in 1992 and hit the scene running. They even did a song for the Beverly Hills Cop 3 soundtrack, but then pretty much fell off of the face of the earth in terms of chart position. The number 7 song in 1993 is If I Ever Fall in Love by Shy.
But I was caught up in physical attraction, but to my satisfaction, baby, you're more than just a fake. And if I ever fall in love again, I will be sure that the lady is a friend. Like you.
Up next is a female R&B group that's kind of similar to the previous group. They started out great and then shortly after kind of disappeared from the scene. I guess it was just that the music industry was changing, because by the late 90s, these really good R&B groups and singers fell victim to the overproduced, flashy type pop music we see today on steroids. I guess it's just how the industry changes every 10 years or so, and it could also be attributable to how the internet opened up the gates to independent artists a bit more. Fun fact, this song has the honor of having the shortest title plus group name ever for a number 1 single in the US. It's also this group's most successful song. The number 6 song in 1993 is Weak by SWV, or Sisters with Voices.
Does my heart stop beating triple time with thoughts of loving you on my mind? I can't figure out just what to do when the cause and cure is you. I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control. Then something takes over me. In a day, it looks so amazing. It's not a face. I want you to stay with me. By my side, I swallow my pride. Your love is so sweet, it knocks me right off of my feet. And it's pain while your love it makes me weak.
On to another extremely popular R&B group and song at the time. It was the 90s after all, and that was the golden age of R&B. A lot of people were surprised that this song made it so high on the charts, because it was pretty straightforward when talking about courting the opposite sex. A lot of songs before this one had more subtle innuendo because they were scared that their songs wouldn't get played on the radio, and getting played on the radio stations was the ultimate declaration of success at the time. This song broke through being very on the nose with lyrics such as "Let me lick you up and down till you say stop." The number 5 song of 1993 is Freak Me by Silk, and I definitely bought the CD with that song on it.
I wanna make your body scream, then you will know just what I mean. 24 karat gold, don't want the night to go. I wanna lick you up and down, and then I wanna lay you down. Come on, so say you up and down, you say down. Let me play with your body, baby, make you real. Let me make you real, yeah. All the things you want me to do. Cause tonight, baby, I wanna get freaky with you.
This next song was the longest running on the charts at number 1 for this artist, and they also won a Grammy for this song for Best R&B Song. It's actually the longest running song at number 1 for the entire musically gifted family, which is no small feat when your brother is the king of pop. It's a really subdued, sensual sounding song, and it's probably the smoothest one on this list. If you've seen the music video or you watch it for the first time, you'll see a familiar face with the very young Jennifer Lopez before she achieved her own fame. The number 4 song of 1993 is That's the Way Love Goes by Janet Jackson. This next song is a cover song of an original performed by The King in 1961, Elvis Presley. This group were asked to record an Elvis song for the film Honeymoon in Vegas, and this is the one they chose. This song is their second and last #1 hit, and the previous one from 10 years earlier in 1983 was also a cover, that time of the Neil Diamond original song Red Red Wine. This group said that they didn't like the finished version of the song and actually thought about scrapping the cover altogether because they were working on a new album and didn't want a cover song on it. Like I said before, it wound up becoming their second #1 hit. The #3 song in 1993 is I Can't Help Falling in Love by UB40.
I stay. Would it be the same? I can't help falling in love with you. As a river flows gently to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be.
The #2 song was thought to have been a ripoff of another song that was made around the same time, but this song was actually created in 1992 while the other one was from 1993. There are a ton of similarities in both songs, but this one was a more clean version. The song was written while the writer was working in a strip club in Florida called Magic City, as him and the DJ used to play it while the girls would dance. He said that this was the song that always got the best response from the girls and the crowd. One day, a rep from Columbia Records came into the club and asked about the song and went back home to try and get them a deal, but they took matters into their own hands and shopped it around. They wound up getting a deal with Bellmark Records, and the DJ quit his job at the strip club before the song went platinum. The #2 song of 1993 is Whoomp There It Is by Tag Team.
Party people! Goes a little something like this. Tag team back again. Check it to wreck it, let's begin. Party on, party people, let me hear some noise. DC's in the house, jump, jump, rejoices. There's a party over here, a party over there. Wave your hands in the air, shake the dairy, yeah. These 3 words mean you're getting busy. Whoop, there it is, hit me. Whoop, there it is. 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 Upside down.
Alright, so you've definitely heard the #1 song before, and honestly, you might even be a bit sick of it. That's how popular it is. It's a song written by a famous country singer, produced by a prolific musician, and performed by who I think is the greatest singer of all time. It set a record at the time of 14 consecutive weeks at #1, which was also a best for the singer by 11 weeks against the previous hit. It went to #1 in pretty much every country in the world that has a music chart, and in some countries it went to #1 in different music categories as well. In the US, it went to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, the Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs chart, and the Adult Contemporary chart. It's the world's best-selling single of 1992, as well as the best-selling single of all time by a female artist, selling over 22 million records worldwide. It's also a part of the best-selling soundtrack of all time from the movie The Bodyguard, selling over 45 million copies worldwide. The #1 song of 1993 is I Will Always Love You, written by Dolly Parton and performed by Whitney Houston.
Bittersweet memories, that is all I'm taking with me. So goodbye, please don't cry. We both know I'm not what you need. And I will always love you. I will always love
you. All right, so that's the top 10 songs of 1993 according to the Billboard charts. That was a top 10 full of booty shaking and love. I don't know which one I like more, but it's probably all better when there's a healthy mix of the two. I like a lot of these songs, and there were some party songs and some slow jams on there, but my favorite songs on this list are That's the Way Love Goes and If I Ever Fall in Love, And of course, I Will Always Love You goes without saying. It's mandatory to like that song. All right, so let me know what your favorite songs are in this top 10, and I'll see you in a new video next Thursday.
All the Jamaicans think I gave them a bum scare, but everything I know I learned from an auctioneer. The bidding will start at 7 for this here go gang. 8 do I hear 8, 9 who'll give me 10? I got 10 going once, going twice sold. I can spout gibberish and it'll go gold. I am what I am and that's all that I am. A skitty button, dip up.